The CW Twin Cities presents See What's Now, brought to you by the X Games.
Incredibly honored, humbled, and very excited to host the X Games, but that's really nothing compared to hosting this press conference. This is my favorite part of this. You guys ready for the press conference? Woo! You guys ready for the press conference? Woo! I love the energy. Make some noise. You got some of the best action sports athletes in the world taking time out of their day to come sit here and answer questions for you guys. So make some noise for these guys. Come on. Now I'm going to start with some introductions here. We got Kyle Baldock, first BMX rider to win 2 gold medals at the same X Games event since 2006. He's from the Gold Coast. He's an Aries. Is that right? He's an Aries. Added a bronze last year in BMX Park. Sitting next to him is the hometown hero, Alec Majerus. He's a Gemini. He owns a bronze medal in skateboard street from Austin 2014. Next to him, we got Tom Schaar, 5-time X Games Big Air medalist and 17-year-old skateboard prodigy. He's a Virgo, incredibly good looking. Next to him, we got the Australian daredevil, Jackson Strong, Scorpio, defending Moto X best trick gold medalist, had an incredible story last year, airlifted to the hospital, came back, threw a front flip on a makeshift bike, essentially, and took home a gold. So that's Jackson Strong for you. We got Josh Sheehan, Aries. He's added quarter pipe bronze in 2015. At Austin 2016, was the only athlete to compete in 4 disciplines, best whip, best trick, freestyle, and quarter pipe, where he took his first gold in freestyle. Make some noise. Come on, make some noise for these guys. Then we have Colton Satterfield. He's a Libra. He's a 2-time defending BMX Big Air champion. Landed at first ever double flare at X Games Austin 2015. This will be his 9th X Games appearance. The old man over here. And an incredible announcer. Really enjoyed listening to you at Boise Park qualifier. Then we have no stranger here to X Games, Jamie Bestwick, better known for his coffee shop in Pennsylvania. Is that right? Yeah, nods his head. Yes, shares all-time X Games gold medal streak record at 9 times with Tucker Hibbert. And if he wins this year, that will break his tie with Dave Mira for most BMX gold at X Games with 14. Good luck to you. And then we have Jared Mees, 4-time AMA Pro Flat Track Racing Champion. He took gold at X Games Austin 2016 in flat track, and if you watch 2015, he was seconds away from taking the first gold there in Austin, but unfortunately, due to the bike, didn't happen, but last year came across in first. Jared Mees. And then we have the adorable Jordyn Barratt. As a last-minute alternate last year in Austin, she shocked the skateboarding world, winning bronze in women's skateboard park. She's been on the podium at nearly every event since. Make some noise for your athletes, everybody. So I'll kick this off. I'm going to ask the hometown hero here, Alec Majerus. It's the first year here in the Twin Cities. What are you most excited about here? X Games in Minneapolis, US Bank Stadium. Let's see if I can figure this out. Oh yeah, you want to just take this mic?
I got this one.
There you go.
I'm super stoked that all my family and friends are going to be able to be here. Like my grandma, she's never seen me skate before, and she's making the trek up. So it's just going to be epic to have all that support. You know, it'll be really fun.
Yeah, Grandma. All right, now I'll open it up to you guys. Do you guys have any questions? Anyone at all? Or are you just here to take photos? Here we go.
Alec, Chris Long from Channel 5 here in town. Now that you've had a chance to see the course and how it lays out and sort of just be in here for the feel of the stadium, how do you like the course, and how much is the excitement amped up now that you're in here and the lights and the banners and the people?
Oh, I'm getting super excited now. I skated the course yesterday for the first time, and I really liked it. It's got a lot of fun rails. It's a really good layout, and you can go a lot of different directions, so I think it's going to be really cool to see everybody skate it and skate it in different ways.
Also quickly wanted to add that Jared Mees has to leave at 2:30, so if you have any questions, try to get him in now.
I had one for Jared. How are you balancing being a new father with your training for flat track?
Is it on? Is it on? There we go. That balance has been good. You know, my wife Nicole's been doing an amazing job, so she deserves all the credit for that. But it's been busy. You know, we actually promote one of the Grand National flat track races that are on the series, the Lima Half Mile, and we had a baby, and then 3 weeks later we had that event that we were promoted, and here we are at X Games. So it's been a really busy and hectic last 2 months, but it's been balancing pretty good, and you know, we're excited to be here, that's for sure. So she's in town, so she's enjoying her first X Games.
For Jackson, how did you do that last year? I mean, I'll keep talking while you're stalling. From the lowest low of, oh, this is bad, to the highest high of getting back and doing what you did. How do you run that range of emotions and come out on top?
Last year was just crazy. You know, everything happened so quickly, and I was at the lowest point that I've been in a long time after I crashed that trick in quarter pipe, and it was so painful, and there was the stress of being really hurt going to hospital. But it all, I don't know, I just rolled with the punches and got back up, and it kind of worked out. Nothing really sunk in until later that night when I was back in my room. It was pretty surreal that could be that low and high all in the one day. It was good, though. Hopefully this year we don't have quite as much drama on my end. That was a bit too much. And for my mother, too. I think that knocked a couple of years off her life.
Nick Kelly with the Rochester Post-Bulletin. Alec, what kind of things have you been doing to grow interest in the X Games and since you first found out it was coming here?
I guess I just been practicing. Since I heard that I was going to be here, I got a little bit more like pressure on me, I guess, you know. So I just been practicing and just getting ready for it. Not trying to get too stressed out. Just have some fun.
I have a question for Kyle. So the overlap of competitors in both park and dirt is vast. How do you prepare differently for each discipline?
First of all, thanks all you guys for coming. It's amazing to be here with all these guys. To your question, I think park and dirt, to me, I don't really train any differently. I feel like the dirt jumps are just big box jumps in my eyes. We got the quarter pipe this year made out of wood. That's like an ongoing thing for me. We have quarter pipes inside. So the people, I feel like they got the young bloods coming in right now that are the ones that are, you know, that should be involved. And you're going to just see bangers after bangers. Seriously, we don't know how. I don't know how I'm actually going to pull it off if I have to actually do something that I haven't done for a while, because these kids are next level, you know. And we've got Aussies out there. We've got Americans that are so young. And I'm just blessed to be here again and try and, you know, be on that level with these kids, because I just spent a week at Woodward and they are like 13, 14, 15, and they're just doing the same things that we're doing right now. So yeah, no training any differently. I just go out there, drink a Monster before I hit it, and I literally go as ham as I can. That's it.
I got a question for Jordyn. Last year, you came in as the, last-minute alternate. That must have been, you might have a different mindset coming in this year. How do you feel different?
I feel pretty good. I kind of got my first X Games out of the belt last year, and so now I'm just know what it's like and know what I need to do, and so I'm just really excited to be here.
Hey, this question's for Jamie. Jamie, what would it mean to you to win gold and end up breaking that record tied with Dave right now?
Hello? Hello. I thought I was tied with Dave Mirra.
To break the tie, I mean.
Oh, to break the tie?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I showed up in 96 in Providence, Rhode Island, just to compete in the X Games. And here we are in 2017, and we're talking about, tying the record. So, for me, it's quite surreal. It's been a long journey with X. I've seen it go from freestyle wall climbing to, skydiving, sky surfing, all kinds of crazy things. But, I think the fundamentals have always been there. They've celebrated, alternative sports. And they've given us a platform to showcase on. So, to come here and ride vert, it's a tremendous honor. First year in Minneapolis, I think everybody is excited, including the city. We're back indoors for the most part, even though Vert's outside, which I kind of like because, you know, I like things hot and humid. Living in Pennsylvania in the summer, you know, I'm used to sweating, so, you know, which is contrary from being from England, where it rains and is miserably cold. And of course, Hugh Grant lives there, so, you know, that's the plus side of things. But no, to win and, you know, to kind of tie the record would be a great achievement. But, you know, there's 7 other guys on the ramp, incredibly talented, as we've seen over the years. You know, Vince Byron, he won, you know, the second year in Austin, you know, where I couldn't extend the streak to 10. And then Simon Tebron, you know, the longest streak in X Games history without winning a gold medal. So I really feel that, you know, the competition is going to definitely come from those guys. But I think this year for me, you know, my biggest competition is I'm hurt. You know, I'm kind of, I'm not showing up to this X Games 100%. Every practice that I take while I'm here is another step closer to me kind of regaining my form again. It's just one of those things that, you know, us as athletes, we kind of have to, you know, make that conscious choice of, are we going to ride, aren't we going to ride? But then the lure of the X Games is so big that you make yourself ride, but you know you're kind of hanging on by a thread. But isn't that what the X Games is about? It's about riding on the edge, knowing that at any moment everything can come crashing down. But you know, the price of glory is so high, you're going to chase it hard. So yeah, Minneapolis, it's amazing. You know, I've got my own story and a backpack full of excuses, but tomorrow night I'll show up and I'll give it my best. Yeah, you do freehand. There will also be a transcript in English and American. See Tim Reed, and you know, the free donut with every transcript. So there we go. Happy days.
I got one for Josh. So what do you think of Bink's rock solid front flip? And that said, what's it going to take to win the best trick?
Well, thankfully we don't have kicker front flip ramps here. They belong at Nitro. But it was awesome. I mean, good on him. It was pretty hard work for him to get. I don't really like the front flip kicker ramps. I mean, they're good for, you know, playing around on or for a bit of a show, but for competitions like this, it's it takes away from the rider's skill and you know, the core of freestyle where you actually ride the bike and you don't just have something throw the bike forward. But good on him. He was pretty beat up after that. Still is now. He's had a rough couple of weeks, but to win best trick here, it's tough. You know, Levi's doing double flips now, and I think this guy's, you know, after last year's double flip attempt, I don't know if he's got any more up his sleeve, but it's going to be tough. And we're going to have to land them. We're going to have to land the trick, Jacko.
I had a question for Tom. No one has medaled in both skateboard park and in big air. Do you think you'll be at one event? Do you think you can do it this year?
I don't know. That's pretty tough. I've been skating a lot more park recently than mega. I've been kind of more focusing on that, and there's been a lot more contests for that too. So hopefully I can do well in that, and then we'll see if I can also try and do well in big airs. So I don't know.
For any of the competitors, I'm with the CBS station here. How does this layout and the courses, how does it compare to other places you've competed? Anything that you like or you don't like or is trickier?
It's the best it's ever been, ever, by so far. Like, this in Minneapolis is obviously you guys know what stadium you have here. It's a serious brand new stadium. To have all this laid out completely flat in one spot like this is, normally if you put a mega ramp, a big air ramp, it takes up the entire floor. When I walked in here, I thought they shrunk the ramp. I didn't think the building could be this big. until I went and rode it. So in my opinion, it's by far, X Games comes in with the highest level of respect for the sport, for the athletes, for the competition itself. And this is on something that, a level it's never been on. So X Games outdoes himself every year, and this is the highest it's ever been for sure. And I think everyone would agree.
I think in action sports as well, the thing that we always battle with mainly is the wind. So for us to be indoors this year, it's amazing. And there's not many stadiums throughout the entire world, if any more, that can facilitate what's happening inside here. So we're just stoked to not be in the wind and glad to be in the US Bank Stadium.
It all comes down to elements for us, I guess. You could drop in and you could have no wind, or you can drop in, you get like a massive gust, and just that's the reason you crash. So to be inside for me and ride dirt and park, it's next level. To see these boys going at it too on the Mega, they're going to go so high now because they're not going to be worried about how much wind there is. But guys, you did an amazing job for getting us in here, and this is going to be a big banger of a session for all of us.
Yeah, I couldn't be any happier about being outside in this wind because,
Only him, though.
you know, right now, and I'll just dig another one out the backpack. You know, I'm obviously, you know, with the symptoms I've got in my back, it's not letting me pump as hard as I normally would. So height's kind of my forte and has been for years, but right now I'm kind of struggling with that. So if this wind keeps up, I think it's going to keep the rest of the guys down to about 6 feet, and we've got a contest. You know, I'm back in the game. So Minneapolis, Windy City, I don't know what you call it out here, but please, you know, somebody, Tom Cruise, keep the wind coming.
Following up on that for any of you guys, how does a venue in a city tend to improve from the first year to the second year that it hosts the X Games?
How does a venue in a city improve? Well, you know, when you look at Austin, Texas versus Minneapolis, you both have humidity, you both have sunshine, and that's absolutely great. I think one thing that you guys have that maybe Austin had more of was the inclement weather. You know, we'd be out at Circuit of the Americas, and it would be a beautiful day, and 30 minutes later, the X Games is getting evacuated. And, you know, that was a sad sight for many of us because we train really hard all year long and ride many contests and try and stay off the injury list so we can come to X Games, compete against the best in the world, and prove that we are the best in the world. So, you know, Austin was always a challenge, but, you know, I know you get crazy weather out here. I saw it on the news last night, but, you know, I think with the safety of the US Bank Arena, a lot of guys are not going to see that this year. And with no wind means you're going to get the best of the best putting on the biggest show you've ever seen. So, you know, thanks to everybody who made it happen and putting it in US Bank. And again, I'd like to thank everybody who put the vert ramp outside and giving me a chance. You know, us 46-year-olds, you know, we're hanging on by a thread. Thank you, Tom Cruise.
For Jared, because I know he's got to head out soon, have you trained any differently, and how do you plan on defending your title?
No, you know, every year I seem to try to strive to be better than last, and you know, when you get up to the top, there's only one way down, and that's down. So, you know, I always try to find different tactics and just try to stay and keep that edge, and didn't really train no differently, just try and approach it like another race. And the good thing about X Games and flat track, you don't know really what to expect. It's not like another flat track. Like we have a really, really flat, wide, rough racetrack, which isn't really on the circuit right now, and really short. So it's going to make it for some pretty bar banging action. And with it being X Games, in my opinion, anything goes. So I'm pretty excited and really look forward to tomorrow.
Jordyn again. At the Dew Tour, you were the only girl competing, right? How was that? And then compared to coming in here and hanging out with all your other girlfriends and competing this way, how would you, you know, describe the two?
It was really fun being the only girls. like all the guys were super supportive of me, and they helped me throughout the course, and it was really fun. But now that I'm with the girls, it's kind of like back to normal, and that's what I'm used to competing against as girls. So it's really fun. Everyone, you know, gets along and has fun together. So it'll be cool this year, I guess.
Are there any more questions for Jared? I just want to be respectful of his time. I think he's got to get going. So if there's any last questions, fire away.
I just want to say thank you to everybody, all the whole X Games crew. Thank you very much to Monster Energy Drink, and you know, good luck to all your athletes here. You know, you guys got my best. So.
Anybody else? Any more questions? Is that it? Yeah, all right. Well, once again, thank you guys so much for coming out. Huge thanks to all the athletes, and thank you guys for telling their stories and for getting the X Games word out to the public. We really appreciate it. And these guys are going to be hanging out with Tim Reed from ESPN if you guys want to do some one-on-ones. Other than that, for the next 4 days, if you have any more questions, get in touch with the PR team. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you throughout the rest of the week. Woo!